On today's episode, Hildervat, Battle on the Beach with Veejay Jones, Rebecca Hammond, Ryan Atkins, and more. Welcome to the OCR Report podcast, brought to you by the OCRReport.com. We are the only podcast to focus exclusively on the elite sport of obstacle course racing, from Spartan to Tough Mudder to the OCR World Championships, and wherever the elites are racing, we are there. My name is Will Hicks, and this is the OCR Report. Welcome back to the OCR Report podcast. My name is Will Hicks. Thank you for listening. You are too kind. I just got back from Hildervat, Jacksonville, and boy, are my arms tired. Not because I flew. They're just tired. Very excited about Hildervat. It was great. A great race, a great weekend. We're going to talk about it a ton here in a minute, but I just wanted to say well done to the staff at Hildervat and to the athletes that ran that race. Congratulations. So lots more on Hildervat in a minute. Before we talk Hildervat, I want to welcome back Heather Olson, Overcome and Run, OCR Report podcast. Heather has rejoined the land of the living in OCR podcast world. Good to have you back. You should check out her new episode, Overcome and Run, wherever you download podcasts, or go to the OCR Report Instagram. You can find a link there. She talks with Alex Walker, who ran Hildervat this weekend. Other OCR podcasts you should check out, OCR Talk. Jason Dupree was with me in Jacksonville. Check out Obstacle Running Adventures, Mike and Caitlin. Caitlin recently got her master's degree. Congratulations, Caitlin. And the OCR Coven with Kim DeVos. It's not OCR, exactly OCR, but our photographer, Jack Goris, has also started a podcast. You can find that on iTunes. Just search for Jack Goris, Goras. Congratulations, Jack. Before we talk some news, are you ready to get back on course? How about racing OCR in California? I know Spartan and Tough Mudder have pushed their races back into October and November. Check out this ad for a local race in Southern California. Grit OCR is Southern California's best local race. On July 10th is the 8-mile Grit OCR Claw Race. With technical trail running and more obstacle challenges, this is guaranteed to test your strength and endurance. Too much for you? On Sunday, July 11th is the Grit OCR Fang Race. The Fang Race is 5 miles long with fewer obstacles than the Claw Race. If you are a first-timer, you will love the Grit OCR Fang Race on Sunday, July 11th. You want to do both days? Take on the back-to-back challenge and earn a special Grit OCR Claw and Fang patch. And you get a 10% discount when you sign up for both days. There are more patches you can earn. There are sweet finisher medals. You need to see the obstacles. Go to gritocr.com to see the patches, medals, obstacles, and to sign up for Grit OCR East Walker Ranch in Santa Clarita, California. The race is July 10th and 11th. Don't miss it. Let's talk some news. Hildervat results. Your king and queen of the beach, Veejay Jones and Rebecca Hammond. Veejay won the finals head-to-head against Ryan Atkins. Rebecca Hammond won the women's finals head-to-head against Lindsay Webster. Here are your top 6 men and top 6 women by results in Hildervat. And for the women, in first place, Rebecca Hammond. In second place, Lindsay Webster. Third place, Alex Walker. Fourth place, Nicole Miracle. Fifth place, Lauren Weeks. And sixth place, Faye Stenning. And for the men, first place, Veejay Jones. Second place, Ryan Atkins. Third place, Ryan Kempson. Fourth place, Ryan Woods. Fifth place, Robert Killian. And sixth place, Ray Omar. I can tell you all about the race, and I'm going to. And we're going to talk about it with the athletes, but you should watch it for yourself. Go to youtube.com/the OCR report. I was down there, and Jason Dupree was down there, and we had an amazing crew of guys led by a guy named Jai, who was our rabbit and our lead videographer on the course. youtube.com/the OCR report to actually watch the race. There were 4 races actually, counting the relay at the end. It was just a great weekend, great setup. I don't want to spoil it all. You're going to hear about it with the athletes, but check it out. youtube.com/the OCR report. Let's talk about money. The Hildervat money board. This is the winnings just from the Hildervat weekend. There's $5,000 up for grabs for first place man, first place woman, $2,000 for second, $1,000 for third, descending down. There's also $2,000 for the first place relay team. The last race of the weekend was a relay race with 2 men, 2 women per team, 3 teams, and the winning team split $2,000. Here is your Hildervat money board. In first place, Rebecca Hammond with $5,500. Second, Veejay Jones with $5,000. Third, Ryan Atkins, $2,500. Fourth, Lindsay Webster with $2,000. Tied for fifth, Alex Walker and Ryan Kempson with $1,000. Tied for seventh, Faye, Stenning and Robert Killian with $750. Tied for ninth, Nicole Miracle and Ryan Woods with $500. And tied for 11th, Ray Omar and Lauren Weeks with $250. I have to talk about probably the worst thing, definitely the worst thing to come out of Hildervat, which was an injury to Nicole Miracle. Nicole easily won the first heat. The way the race format worked out was the top 6 would race, then the top 4 finishers in that race would advance to the second round, and then the top 2 from that semifinals race would advance to the finals. So 3 races total. Nicole easily won the first race of 6, and she was leading a substantial lead on the field the second race, heading for her second win and a trip to the finals, when she came off of a rig, and she didn't hit anything. She just swung through the rig, hit the bell, and landed awkwardly on the sand. And she stood up, she tried to walk, and she couldn't. And she had to be helped off the course. So in that semifinals, that race of 4 women, the second race of the weekend for the women, Nicole did DNF'd due to an injury, and so she finished in 4th for the weekend. She's been posting about it on social media since. And I talked with her briefly off microphone at Hildervat, and she's in good spirits, but she is an elite athlete. She would have easily won the second round, and she probably would have won the finals. We'll never know. It would have been her versus Rebecca Hammond in the finals. But she'd already beaten Rebecca Hammond twice if she had finished that second race. So anyway, our best wishes go out to Nicole. I'm sorry that happened. It was the worst part of the weekend. And she's taking it like a champ. I've gotten hurt before, and I do not handle it. Nicole is a better person than I am. So anyway, Nicole, best wishes, and get well soon. Some non-Hildervat news. Spartan Race announced that Asheville will replace San Luis Obispo in the U.S. National Series. So the Asheville Super will replace the San Luis Obispo Super. That means the 5-race U.S. National Championship Series is Jacksonville, which already happened. It'll be the Utah Beast, which is the second race on July 17th. Third race is the Asheville Super on July 31. Fourth race is August 28th. That's the West Virginia Beast. And the last race in the 2021 U.S. National Series is October 17th, the Big Bear Super. For a complete list of those races, go to theocrreport.com or go to the OCR Report Instagram. So the field is set. 5 races for the 2021 U.S. National Series Spartan race. Nicole and Veejay won the first race in the series back in February. Veejay is well positioned to win the whole thing. You need three perfect races to kind of guarantee yourself the win. It's your 3 best races will determine your point score. So a perfect series would be 900 points, right? 3 wins. If there's a tie, say, whatever, Veejay and Atkins both get 899 points. The winner of the last race in the series is the winner. The last race in the series is a tiebreaker, I should say. That's the Big Bear Super on October 17th. On the women's side, it's a little more dicey. Nicole is in first place. Nicole won Jacksonville. And like we just talked about, Nicole is hurt. So she is not going to be at 100% anytime soon. And I'm recording this end of May. The next race in the series is July 17th. So it depends if Nicole's at this point, Nicole is planning on surgery, and then there's recovery after that. And then there is, rehab after that. And then there's actually like building strength and, endurance after that. So what does that look like for Nicole? Can Nicole miss the second and third race in the series? Can she skip Utah on July 17th and skip Asheville on July 31st? Absolutely. Then she'll have to come back and win or compete in the West Virginia Beast August 28th, and then the Big Bear Super on October 17th. Is that possible? Absolutely. Is it doable? 100%. Just said that. It's possible and doable. Same thing. But it's not going to be easy. So, but if anyone can do it, man, Nicole Miracle could do it. So, look, there's no pressure on this end. But I would love to see Nicole back on course in time for that 4th race, August 28th, West Virginia Beast. August, that's what? Like June, July, August. 3 months. Ugh, man, that's pushing it. I don't know. It's not worth long-term permanent injury. But if it's possible, I'd love to see her out there. Let's talk the money board, the official OCR report money board. So a lot of money came from Hildervat onto the top 10 money board. The money board is a ongoing season-long project. We are tracking the OCR race winnings of the top athletes in the sport. We're actually tracking every single race. If you are giving out cash at an OCR race, we're tracking it, adding it to the stack, and seeing who is the big winner at the end of the year. Let's just go to the top 10 on the money board. If you want to see the money board, go to theocrreport.com, go to our Instagram page. You can see the whole thing. In first, Veejay Jones, $9,000. Second, Rebecca Hammond, $6,800. In third, Ryan Kempson, $5,100. In fourth, Nicole Miracle, $4,500. In fifth, Ryan Atkins, $3,500. In sixth, Chris Rogloski, $3,300. Seventh, Alex Walker, $3,000. Eighth, Ryan Woods, $2,500. In ninth, Casey Monroe, $2,200. And in 10th, Victor Casada with $2,100. That's the money board so far. Lots of big money races still left in the year. 4 of the U.S. National Series races as well. There are championship races to come, World's Toughest Mudder. So there's a lot more money to get onto that money board. But some of these athletes, they're not doing it with big Hildervat finishes. Chris Rogloski wasn't at Hildervat. She's up there. Casey Monroe wasn't at Hildervat. She's up there. So anyway, it's exciting to watch them climb up, see who's doing what. I mentioned it a couple times. I want to encourage you, check out our Instagram at the OCR Report. Our team has been crushing it with content, with new podcast episodes, with random photos of the day, and all the charts and race calendars and listings and point standings you can want. It is the best OCR report. It's the only OCR report. It's the best OCR account on Instagram. Check it out. The OCR report. And go to theocrreport.com. Before we talk with the athletes, let's read some iTunes reviews.
5 stars.
5 stars.
5 stars.
5 stars.
5 stars.
5 stars.
5 stars. 5 stars.
No new reviews to read today. What's going on, fellas? Let's get some reviews in there. If you'd like to be a part of the show, you can leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Open your Purple Podcast app on your iPhone or iOS device. Search for the OCR Report. Click our logo and then scroll down to click Write a Review, and I will read it on a future episode. Or go to lovethepodcast.com/OCR. You can leave a review there. It's time to talk Hildervat. Let's go to the phones. Faye Stenning, how was your relay race?
That was the funnest OCR thing I've ever done, to be honest. It was a blast. Yeah, it's fun to just hammer the crap out of the obstacles. You don't have to run that much in between. I've never done them so aggressively and fast before. So it was something different and really, really fun. Team relays are always fun. They should definitely do more team relays, and they definitely should do more short course OCR racing. I think that'd be really appealing to the masses.
What did you think of the whole Hildervat experience?
I thought it was great. I had a total blast. It was just, like I said, nice to do something completely different. Not to bash Spartan, and I love Spartan racing. That was my first OCR love, but it's been nice to play around on some new obstacles and just do something different and kind of test myself in a different way. I think it takes a lot more sort of skill and technique to do a course like Hildervat. So it was nice, and I enjoyed actually not running quite as long as a typical Spartan race. I had a blast.
Faye Stenning, thanks much.
Thank you.
Alex Walker, how was your relay race?
Oh my goodness, it was so fun. That was probably the whole weekend's best part. I got to make up some time, and then I missed my little, axe, but I still had fun, and I don't know, it was good.
What do you think about axe throw versus spear throw?
I think it's all fun, because it does change it. If you made it, it made up time, and if you didn't, then, you had to do those walls, so I like that stuff.
What did you think of the whole Hildervat experience as a whole?
I love it. I love the heavy rig. I wish there was a little bit more rigs, but other than that, I think it's such a cool experience. And the sand was fun.
Would you come back to Hildervat?
Yeah, I would.
Any last thoughts on Hildervat? Running on the beach?
I hope they do it again. It was fun.
Alex Walker, thanks much. Veejay Jones with the beatbox.
What? You got that? Fantastic.
Veejay, how was your championship race?
It went like the other ones. It was really good. I knew that I had to go out hot in order to get ahead of Atkins because he's a closer. So that was all in my mind. He's going to close. I just have to make sure that I'm far enough ahead to where he can't close. But yesterday, going out as hot as I did, I was sub 5 minute mile pace all the way down the beach, and it caught up to me by the end of the race. I was like, man, it's a little bit too fast. So I was a little more conservative, but still fast enough to open up a little bit of a gap, and it ended up sticking, and it stuck hard.
So you had maybe a 12-second lead on Atkins for the first half of the race, it looked like.
Yeah.
And then after that, it looked like you were able to open up 30 seconds to maybe even a minute gap on Atkins. Was there some strategy in that? What were you thinking?
So I stayed consistent in my run at a pace that was fast, but it was something I felt like I could stick this for the rest of the race. But I basically told myself you have to run the championship race from the get-go, and if you deserve it, then you deserve it, and you'll finish it out. But if it falls apart, then it wasn't you today. So I went out with that mentality, ran it hard. I was really smooth on the obstacles, no real hiccups. And I think I was a second or two faster on a couple obstacles, and that kept me in play there. But then I stayed on that pace, and I knew Atkins was planning on closing in because he let me go at the start. He didn't try to stay with me. So I stayed at that pace, and when he tried to close, I think it took too much out of him. And he broke, and which a lot of us didn't think was possible. I personally didn't think it was possible. I figured he was going to run in and try to take it from me at the end. But then he fell back, and it was amazing.
Did you just say you broke Ryan Atkins?
I might have. You'd have to ask him. I'm not sure. That's what it looked like. I don't whether or not if his fitness held him back or if mentally he checked out. Either way, that's a form of breaking. So I was very surprised, honestly, to see that, and that my fitness was a little better than I thought, I guess, and I'm happy about it.
The impression I got watching the race was that Atkins had a plan to kind of let you be in front.
Yep.
And then he, like you said, he would plan to close, but you did not let him do that. You maybe when he was looking to make that close, you pushed harder and kept going.
Yeah. I ran the same race that I did yesterday, basically, but without having that race in the morning to tire you out for the second round, I was able to keep that pace up. And believe it or not, like the couple people that were out there on the course, like cheering me on, really helped, especially down the beach, to just remind myself, keep that turnover, and it worked well.
What'd you think of all the locals you had to run over to get through the race?
It was a lot better today. Yesterday afternoon was really gnarly, as far as not running into kids and old ladies crossing your path. So today was a little better because everyone stayed put. But you're navigating beach towels and umbrellas the whole time.
What'd you think of the relay race?
Relay race was a blast. It was so much fun. No time really to get tired. You're just jumping through a bunch of obstacles. They looped out, or they cut off the run, so you're not out there on that. So we were just back-to-back, obstacle, and it was a ton of fun. We finally got to touch the axe and throw it, and that was a ton of fun. So I had a blast with it.
I saw you throwing it like a dart.
I threw it like a spear, okay? I got a lot of experience throwing spears, so I stayed with that, and it worked out really well. And honestly, that's the best way to do it, because I trained for this. I actually bought one of the axes, and I was prepared to have it in the main race as well. But that's the best way for me. Yeah, worked well.
Any last thoughts on Hildervat?
I had a blast. I think for the first event, it went pretty well. I'd like to see this progress and be even better next year. I think they understand what needs to happen, work out the kinks, and bring it back, because it's a really unique event, and I'm hoping that next year it comes back and it's even better, and we can do it again. But I had a really good time.
Veejay Jones, thanks much.
Thanks, man.
Rebecca Hammond, Queen of the Beach, congratulations.
Thank you.
How was your race?
It was fine.
It looked like you were pretty dominant out there.
Yeah, I had to not mess up, and I didn't. I overcame some negative self-talk while I was approaching obstacles, because I'm not really used to being in the lead, and it was totally fine. Everything went smoothly.
How do you overcome those mental thoughts when you get them?
I mean, it's like, oh, I'm having this negative thought. There's even if this negative thought comes true, there's no use in having this right now. It's not gonna help me in any way. So, whatever, just try and replace it with a positive one or a neutral one, or just try not to think.
Do you have mantras or something you say to yourself you go back to?
I probably should. At times, I tend to get anxious on course, so at times I've had the mantra, it's just you and the course, and I just try and relax and be in the moment and look at the sand or the beach or whatever. And there were times today and yesterday when I just looked out at the water and I was like, oh, I'm on the beach, it's fine. So yeah, so it's basically, I guess, being present, trying to be present.
What was it like running on the beach?
The sand part was, you can't run fast on that stuff, but the hard pack was lovely. It was just perfect running ground.
What was your strategy going into the final race today?
Just so I predicted that I would gain a lead on both the run and the obstacles, but I wasn't confident enough to not push the run a little bit, so I didn't fully relax until kind of the last lap. But I wanted to maintain that in case something happened and I messed up an obstacle or something. I wanted to have a comfortable lead.
You said you're not used to being in the lead. Do you prefer to be the chased or the chaser?
I don't know. I'm a pretty anxious racer. So I try to not some people feed off of their competition. I used to back when I ran track, but for some reason recently I've become more of a, maybe because I train by myself, I've just become more of a just run your fastest and it'll either be good enough or not, and try and dig deep. But yeah, so I guess I kind of try to run my own race.
What'd you feel crossing that finish line?
Happy. It's nice. It was in relief. It was getting really hot, so it's oh, thank God this is over. Both Lindsay and I were just oh God, so hot.
How'd you like the relay race?
It was very fun. Relay races are always really fun. The 4x4, back when I ran track in high school and college, was always the funnest, because it's just, I don't know, like being happy for a team, being excited for a team, being nervous for a team is way more fun than being those things for yourself. So that was really fun.
I saw you nail your axe throw.
Yeah, that was kind of 50-50, and it happened to hit, so that was great.
Any last thoughts on Hildervat?
it ruled. It was great. I mean, yeah, it was really fun. I was thinking it would be fun, but it was way funner than I thought it would be. Actually, I didn't think it was going to be fun, but it was really fun. So I would give it a try. It's a really fun experience.
What's your future look like? And here in the sport of OCR?
So I finished my medical degree and I start residency in psychiatry at Stanford at the end of June. So that first year, I'll be working a lot. I'm expecting to not race at all. I'm planning on not doing anything. And then after that, I might have more time to train, but we will see. I'm kind of playing it by ear.
Kind of a new phase of your career here?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited for it. It was easy to look forward to it when COVID was happening and there weren't races, and now that there are races, it's a little harder. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really fun. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Play it by ear.
Rebecca Hammond, thanks much.
You got it.
Ryan Atkins, how was your race?
I'd give it like a 6.5 out of 10.
6.5. What's that 3.5 missing?
3.5 missing about 10 beats per minute heart rate, feeling like a dumpster fire, and just getting, I don't know. I just haven't raced in a while, so I felt kind of out of practice, but I think all things considered, is pretty happy with how the weekend went.
But for the first half of the race, you were able to keep about a 10, 12-second gap between you and Veejay. After that, he began to gap it a little bit. What was happening at that halfway point?
I don't really know. It just kind of, I felt like my effort level was the same, and I kept just pushing, but I think my body was just kind of like... Yesterday I felt pretty good in the second race, and then today it was just, I felt terrible, so...
What did you think of the relay race?
Relay race was super fun. Robert got us a bit of a lead, and then, and then everyone did their part, and we just kept it, so it was wicked.
You've run some relay races in the past, World's Toughest Mudder.
I think other than Sam Hebert, I've probably won the most number of team races out of anyone. I've won Spartan team races 2 or 3 times, OCR World ones, World's Toughest Mudder here. So yeah. Oh, I think we're going up for our.
All right, Ryan Atkins, thanks much.
Our team ceremonies. Yeah, thank you. Cheers.
Take a photo of this. It doesn't happen that often. Not since World's Toughest Mudder, 19.
Whatever. Matthew Davis.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm toasty. We just spent the weekend on the beach. So great weekend. And as always, you know how it is. It's great to be here, but it's also great to get home, right? Sunday, it's all right, let's get home. This is awesome, but...
It's it's unique with the beach because it's beautiful, but it gets hot fast.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and say that you have Matt Davis level equipment here. People think I kind of slack it a little bit. I'm looking at a microphone that, I don't know, was it used for band practice in the 80s? What is going on?
Okay, this is a little inside baseball, but I would like the audience to know that I gave you the good one.
Okay, that's important.
So when I started my podcast years ago,
yes.
I bought a Zoom recorder and
right.
I bought a microphone and
right.
a cable.
Right.
And then I realized, hey, if I'm going to do this and talk to people, I'm going to need 2.
Right.
So the second one which you have is newer.
Okay. Well, I've recently purchased some of these on Amazon, and it's $4 for 20 of them.
That's a good point. You bring that up. You're talking about the foam windshields.
Yes.
Yes, mine is torn. So tell me about the experience, covering a race where you can see everything, basically.
We talked about this a little bit on the old feed. Somewhere between 3 laps and... Do you want to go cover that? Or somewhere between 3 laps and shorter. I like that we can all see it. I love that we can all run around the spectating. But 3 laps, it can get boring. So how about a longer 2 laps? What do you think?
I think the first half with the obstacles, leading up to the rope climb, was amazing. And I think from the cargo rig back was also great. But once they go on the run, which is running is part of the sport. It's always going to be part of the sport. But the obstacles are more exciting. But if it turns into Ninja Warrior, that's too far the other way, I think.
Right.
So there's got to be some balance.
Right.
3, yeah, you're right. 2 versus 3, I could go either way, I guess. It just
right.
depends. The running obstacle balance is where I'd find it.
Right, but it is really fun. You watch the entire crowd move with the race, and we always talk about how can we make this thing spectator friendly. So, but can every race be on the beach though? I don't think so.
Yeah, most of them are off in the woods, and although that's got its own advantages because you don't have grandma with the 2 kids, grandkids at the beach, that the elite level athletes are having to dodge around umbrellas. Which
Trust
is not
us. Trust
ideal.
us. This is a world championship event.
It's an obstacle.
Veejay Jones says grandma is another obstacle. What do you think about the Hildervat setup?
You mean like the race?
The race, the prize structure, the 6 to 4 to 2.
I mean, listen, if you can afford to pay this much money, great. Of course, the question is, can they afford to do this long term? There was only a few hundred folks out yesterday, so we're watching the female podium right now, ladies and gentlemen, holding up the proverbial giant checks. Anyhow, so yeah, I mean, honestly, an obstacle race on a beach is kind of like boom, boom, set it up. Like you can spend you don't have to spend that much to have a nice race. But yeah, I don't know how we're going to do this long term with these guys, right?
You're talking about like the prize pool, 5,000 for first
Well, it's going to
place,
go back
2,000.
to the regular, right? Otherwise, you can't afford to do that.
What do you think about the post-COVID, the future of the sport? Do you think it's going to come back strong? We were kind of maybe trending downward before COVID.
Right.
Maybe a gentle downward slope. What do you think is going to happen the last half of this year or 2022?
I think we could see a spike if you follow the event industry news, like concerts are coming back and people are excited. So it would be great if we saw a little bit of a hit getting people back out. You know, I think you and I have talked a lot off mic about it's hard for us because we're so insulated. Like, what do people think on the outside? Oh, I did one of those Tough Mudders once, and they move on with their life. Or like, but there's so many of us honks out there that, Tough Mudder ambassadors and Spartan trifecta honks and all these people that like they keep doing it. So it's like I feel like every time I feel like we're down for the count, it's not.
Yeah, and you know I've read books about like you need your hardcore fans, your raving fans, the people who will like ride or die with you no matter what.
Right.
And OCR as an industry has a lot of those people.
Right. I mean, yeah, people. I think doing the amount of feedback we get from like a live coverage is like people care about this. It's still nothing compared to whatever, like whatever Olympics or pro sports, but the people that love this stuff really love this stuff.
You mentioned Olympics. This is like a 6-year conversation. OCR are the Olympics. Where do you think we are in 2021 with the Olympics?
I think this would be a great format for the Olympics, don't you think? Take out the axe throw. I'm being serious.
I think it would. I think something you could set up like inside an arena, even
right,
like a sports arena, like a Wembley or some soccer stadium or something.
Well,
like that.
People have said, what if we did that? Then they leave, right? They do the obstacles, they leave, go out and do some little trail, come back. Like that seems like a way we could do it.
It was we were doing our live coverage, and yesterday we didn't have a guy over at the bucket carry, so it was like they're gone. And then they're back.
Right.
And that was, the weakest part. I'd have to like tell stories and kind of tap dance till they got back.
Right.
And for us, the best part was when there was some separation, and so you always had someone coming back.
Right.
I can see, when they're leaving the stadium.
Just watching a little dance party going on. Ryan Wood's dance party.
It's great being back at a live. This is my first live race since 2019. Like, I don't even know, like my last one. I'll tell you when it was. My last live race was when I hurt my arm before I had surgery, and it's been great to just be around racers again.
I gotta get showered up.
Okay, I'll meet you up there.
So, what's your thoughts about live races again? Have you been to a couple yet? Yeah. This is your first one in a while.
He said 404, and I was like, "Are you about to give me your phone number?" I'm like, "Oh, that's his room." Yeah, I've been to a Tough Mudder. I've been to a Savage. Have I been to a Spartan? Yeah, I mean. Every time people are out, it still feels like, oh, it's the first time, kind of. And I think that's not going to go away for a while because you're so happy to see everybody because we've all been cooped in for a freaking year.
What do you think of COVID recovery? Like, how's Georgia handling it?
Well, people joke that the South is so crazy, but where I live, you wear masks indoors. Florida is a whole nother world. I felt naked when I went to the grocery store because I didn't have to put my mask on because I'm just so used to, like, I never wear them outside, but I'm just so used to, like, when you're going in, you put them on, even for the comfort of other people. You just, you know what I mean? Like, so it was weird down here, dude. It was weird. But
Florida, there's a sign at the sports bar across the street. Masks are not required. Which is, if you want social distancing, okay, we'll take care of you. But that's the first sign I've seen that not required.
There was also a sign that said no smoking until 10 p.m.
Florida. Matt Davis, any last thoughts on Hildervat?
You just did that in your Will Hicks voice.
Every voice is my Will Hicks voice.
I know, but that was Matt Davis. Any last thoughts on Hildervat? Are we still doing 5 stars?
Absolutely. Are you still doing...
Good day, everyone?
Yes.
Yes, I still do that.
You want to give me a 5 stars for old time's sake?
5 stars. That's the same as the last one. Yeah, all right, dude. I'm going to get out of the sun.
Matt Davis, thanks much.
Can we touch Mike's? His face was just, don't make me do that. All right, buddy, good talk.
Good talk. Go. Ryan Kempson, how was your race?
Relay was fun. All the other races were a blast. It was hot. I think it took a toll on all of us. I have a tendency to redline really hard, and redlining in this weather didn't work out so well. So it was fun. It was really fun doing a different format, running on the beach. Obstacles were killer, and we're not used to that in the past few years. So it was refreshing to get out here and throw down with the boys.
I think the best obstacle was the one your brother made.
Oh, no doubt. He puts a lot of thought into it. We talk a lot about it, and really, want to push the sport of moving with obstacles to not just being hard or difficult, but rewarding athleticism. So you can see people fly through, and it's spectator friendly. But at the same time, your average Joe, if they need to, there's techniques they can get through it. You don't want people falling off rigs. You want people either going slow or going really, really fast.
That's a great point, to reward athleticism, because it's easy to make something super hard so no one can pass it, or one person can pass it.
Yeah, and honestly, that super hard thing is just, to me, it's the designer of the obstacle, like, needing to check his ego. It's about, hey, I need to fail this, or it needs to be hard because I need to make my obstacle hard to look cool. Like, no, it's not about that, man. Like, look at the sport. Like, let's move this sport in a direction that's more exciting and fun to watch and rewards athletes.
What do you think of the axe throw on the relay?
It's cool, man. Like, I like adding a different skill in. I like that the penalty was only just a couple walls. It only added maybe 5 to 8 seconds. And, looking back, if we had the axe throw in the race itself, like, yeah, it was great. Like, Veejay just, he mossed us on the run. But, it would have been really cool and exciting to kind of even it out, maybe, and have us battle 3 laps, neck and neck in the obstacles. Like, I think we all, even as a racer, like, it's kind of what you want. So,
Ryan Kempson, any last thoughts on Hildervat?
Ooh, I hope we do it again.
Ryan Kempson, thanks much.
Thanks, Mike.
Annie Dube,
Hey,
congratulations on your relay race.
thank you.
What was it like to be up there with those other 11 athletes?
It was a lot of fun. I had a slip up on one of the rigs, which kind of cost my team, sadly. But otherwise, it was a blast. It was like you didn't even have a second to like think or catch your breath, which was, I've never raced like that before, so it's a learning experience. But
So you finished first at the women's elite yesterday.
yeah,
And then when Nicole got injured yesterday, they made you a call to you and said, "Hey, can you take her spot?"
Yep.
Tell me about that phone call or that invite.
Yeah, so I'd been talking to Dan throughout the weekend. He graciously invited me out here to race, which was awesome. And so sadly when Nicole got hurt, they needed someone to fill in, so they asked me, which was exciting. Yeah, so.
What did you think of Hildervat as a whole?
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Very different from any other OCR I've done. Fun obstacles. The heat was intense, so like just dealing with that and the sand. But those were probably the biggest obstacles to deal with. But I would definitely do another one. Yeah.
How was your axe throw?
Axe throw yesterday hit 2 out of 3, and then today missed. Yeah.
Annie, would you any last thoughts on Hildervat?
No, just had a great time and looking forward to another one. Yeah.
Annie Dube, thanks much.
Thank you.
Robert Killian, how was your relay race today?
Oh man, it was amazing. The crowd was very supportive, so there was a lot of energy on the course. The axe throw was super entertaining. You could feel it. You could hear the crowds doing the ooh when you miss, and then yeah when you ding it. But I just want to go out there and full send and put a cap on the weekend with a positive note, since I didn't have the race I wanted initially. Got bumped out, snuffed out on 5th place by Woods. I was really hoping I'd get him on that last rig, but I just didn't even have the opportunity.
Your relay team won today. That was good.
Yeah, we won the relay. We had a really strong team. I really like how they did the format where you could pick. So the 6th place girl who got eliminated, it was like draft style. She got the pick, and then 5th. And we just ended up with a really solid team. But, it was close. Like, I think if I would have made that first axe throw, it would have been a blowout. So in hindsight, I'm like, yeah, I made the race more exciting that we missed, and it was awesome.
That was kind of you to make it exciting.
Yeah. No, I actually just missed. So,
what did you think of the whole Hildervat format on the beach?
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. It's so hard to run in the sand, and you don't, you get kind of that fell running type where you get a little bit more gas. You don't get rewarded for, your form or technique. You just got to like grind and just go as hard as you can and hope that you're faster than the guy next to you. But I like the short course format. I like the obstacle density. I like the challenging obstacles. Like, they weren't impossible, but they were challenging enough to where technique made a difference. You could pick up some time, and then that would allow you to get ahead on the run, because you just kind of gap somebody and then you drop them on the run. But yeah, all in all, it was awesome. The venue's awesome. We spent most of the day at the beach yesterday, and I don't really hang around in the woods after a race. So yeah, this is kind of a cool destination, because you can kind of relax and enjoy the rest of your day. You don't want to just, okay, I'm going to hurry home. So it's nice.
You think you'd come back next time?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Especially being on the East Coast now. So that's one of the things. People are like, oh, why haven't you done Savage, or why haven't you done these other races? I'm like, well, they don't really have any in Colorado. Not a lot of companies want to come to Elevation and host races, and that's across the board. Cycling, running, there's a few, but not as, as dense as the East Coast and the West Coast. You just have so many races over here. So I'm definitely looking at other brands and other races and trying to get in to as many of those as I can, because it's a new experience. And that's what we love about obstacle course racing, is unknown stuff and, doing things that you haven't done before. Not to say that Spartan isn't, it's still really exciting, and I like doing it, but I've done 105 of those. So
I was going to say, yeah, we kind of think of you as a Spartan racer, but if you're going to expand out to like OCR WC maybe? And
well, that's a conundrum this year, because they're on the same day. So the North American Championships in Tahoe, which is my favorite course, everybody knows that. So for me, I'm going to go to Tahoe because I like to run at elevation, and I love that course. But I really wanted to go to OCR World Championships this year because I'm on the East Coast and I don't have to fight that time difference or anything. So
you've done very well at that Tahoe course.
Yes, the past 5 years I think that's the record for 5 straight podiums at the World Championship. There's no one who's gotten 6, so
including 2 wins. It's okay to flex
2 wins,
that.
I guess, yeah, absolutely.
2-time world champion Robert Killian.
Yeah, that's a good exit. Appreciate it.
Robert Killian, thanks much.
Yeah, take care.
Ray Omar Rodriguez Rivera.
Yeah.
How are you? How was your race?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here. And yeah, it's nice to be here.
You ran the relay race today with your team. How was the relay race?
Man, it was the best part of the whole weekend. I raced yesterday on the elite team relay too. So the race today, I've been in mindset to go fast and furious, to attack those obstacles very fast, to take some advantage of those guys, because they are tough. They are tough.
What is it like racing with Ryan Atkins and Robert Killian? They're all very fast.
Man, I think, damn, I got no word for that because, they are my inspirations for me. And then I was in the start with them until the rope climb. And then, see you, but I can keep it up, and I never surrender. That's the most important of the whole thing, to get the experience and get more, comfortable, confident with the races. And I'm glad that those guys or the Dan and George to put me in here. And yeah, I'm glad, and I'm very happy to be here.
What did you think of Hildervat the whole weekend?
I think the concept in the beach is very, the thing is the OCR. I think is, a family, and bring this concept to the beach is more like more the union the family have. So then we have some spectators too, in the real OCR. That we have to run in the mountains and the spectators don't see us. So to have this concept here the first time is really, really amazing.
Ray, would you come back to Hildervat next time?
Of course. Yeah.
Ray Omar, thanks much.
Thank you too. Thank you.
Dan Woods, race director for Hildervat. First race weekend of 2021 is in the books. Big weekend. How did it go?
Wow, it was a whirlwind. Hard to wrap your mind around an event that just build, setup, and everything, and we're on day 3.5. So it's a lot going on. We put a whole bunch of races inside the race. Well, a lot of people said, "Good luck with that. Hard to pull off." Things happen, but we had a great time here, and I think it was really successful, and we're super happy.
What's the plan for Hildervat next?
So Hildervat's going to go on the road. This is hometown for us, so we're going to go out to St. Cloud in 3 weeks, so a quick turnaround. We're going to do a beach race in the middle of the state on a beach lake. So we'll take it to the lakes too. And we're going to put some obstacles out in the water in the lake, and that's going to be exciting for people. And we're going to do a trail run inside that within the obstacle course race. We'll get on some trails and beach, so it's going to be a good combo.
What is one of the big highlights of the weekend was the battle on the beach. It's 12 of the top names in OCR racing each other. What's the plan for that going forward?
So I loved Battle on the Beach. I thought it was unique. An elimination tournament, close your course off, let the athletes run unimpeded alone on the course against each other. That was really exciting. But I think really the event that stole the show this weekend was the pro relay race. And I really see elimination tournaments with pro relay race the focus. I mean, I wouldn't mind setting up a whole day-long race of relay races, man.
So are you saying like a relay race, but like with the elimination format?
A relay race tournament.
That'd be fun. You know what? That relay race is one of the funnest OCR races I've watched.
I had to come off. I didn't hear I talked to the teams as they came off and they were at the finish line, but I didn't get to listen to the interviews. I heard they were really, really positive and really excited. I can tell you, for me, I came up to set up for the award ceremony, and I had goosebumps. I mean, I was freaking out. People were like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, that might have been the coolest athletic thing I've ever seen.
I had multiple of the top pros tell me that was the highlight of the weekend.
Yeah, it really was. It really was.
What was the reaction from the public? What did they say?
Whenever you do a big event like that, you're going to expect at least 20% of the people to give you their feedback, whether they've done it or not. Mostly probably if they haven't done it. But I will say that this feedback was so positive. Everybody loved the course. They thought it was well designed. The sand in combination with the obstacles, they weren't overly difficult, but they were you had to have obstacle proficiency, and that's what we wanted to do here, and everybody loved it. And we had some nice names. We had obviously all the pros here, and then we had a huge elite field that was really full, and it was incredible. To do a race with an oval like this, we had never done it. Obviously, it's not really done. We were anticipating 400 people on the course at once, and we were a little concerned, especially with the elites having multiple tries on the obstacles, keeping lanes open, keeping wristbands tight. It worked out really good. We had over 500 on the course at one point, and it was smooth. There's always going to be a backup, especially if on multiple tries. That happens on regular courses, but no matter how far you separate the heats, they're back on that loop again. So it worked out really good. We're really thrilled with it, and we think that we can continue to do this loop.
You mentioned the numbers. There's a big prize pool for the pro wave, and generally that
prize pool is paid for by the open waivers or by the elite, the other racers. What do numbers need to look like? Is that prize pool sustainable? Can we see that again, you think, next year or once a year, or what's that?
I think the prize pool is sustainable. To your point, you have to get the registered runners in and running it and all that. And what we want to do is we want to say, look, come on out and race. We're going to keep the costs low. I mean, they're low across compared to other races. We're low or right in there. But then you get so much more. You get this spectator experience, this festival experience, and you get to run the relay race within that if you want. So you can do multiple. You can run elite, relay, open. So I think we can do that. We could do that. I think that having this big of a pro wave was something that came around maybe once in a long time, with everything involved, not just the money part of it. But yeah, the money's sustainable if we can get the folks out. And I think, but we wanted to deliver a good product, and I think we did. I think people really loved our race.
You mentioned the festival area. Robert Killian told me having the race on the beach has made this the first race that he's ever run where he hung out afterwards. Usually when you're out in the mountains, you finish the race, especially the pros. This is their job. They're not going to hang out for free after. But he's like, I spent the day at the beach. It was great.
Come off the hotel, take a dip in the pool, grab yourself a cocktail, go out to the beach. Oh, there's a race going on. Come to race. Let me tell you, so that was my concept, right? I really wanted to have this stay and hang out in just that community, and just the party goes on, right? The after party. But really selfishly, I'm like, as a family man with kids, and I've got this racing addiction, and I run off every weekend. If I can bring the family and they can go to the beach, I can do more races. I can race every weekend, Will, because the family's having a good time. And we just call it a vacation, and I'm good to go. I get the pass.
It makes the negotiations at home a lot easier.
I mean, right? It's like no question. Oh, we got to go to the beach, Dad? All right, you can go do your race. My kids race too, though, so it's all good. That's mainly for my wife.
So I would love to have a Hildervat in Hawaii.
Oh, I love it.
And maybe one near Disney World.
Hey, how about this? What about Hildervat in Puerto Rico?
You know what? One of the pros was from Puerto Rico, and I've heard I've been starting to look into it. There's a big OCR contingent in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, a lot of them were here. I think we had close to 100 runners from Puerto Rico, and they took more than their fair share of prize money. They are fast. They did. I mean, they were really good. Masters champion. We had age groupers all up and down. We had second place overall. Second place overall was Puerto Rican descent, but he's local. The third place overall in our elite was directly from Puerto Rico. He flew in. So yeah, we had a lot of really good, strong Puerto Rican runners.
Puerto Rico is a good beach destination. It's part of the United States. It's not a state, but it's a territory.
Yep.
Your U.S. dollar spends down there. And any prize money you win down there, I think there's no taxes on it. I'd have to check. Don't quote me on that.
Wow.
But Puerto Rico is much more tax-friendly than the rest of the U.S.
Yeah, it is, and it's beautiful. They have some beautiful beaches, and our concept is maybe come down there with a multi-race series over the summer and crown a champion. Crown a Pan-American champion, a Caribbean champion, and bring some folks in.
There's no shortage of beaches once you start going southeast.
Oh, it's beautiful, right? So, again, that's part of that vacation theme, right? I can race.
You know what? Destination racing, that's a thing. People do destination races all the time.
At Hildervat, every race is a destination race.
Dan, any last thoughts on Hildervat Jacksonville?
I really appreciate you coming out. I watched your live footage, Will, and it was spectacular. You could hardly tell that wasn't post-production stuff. It was really, really quality, and we appreciate you coming out.
Dan Woods, thanks much.
Thanks, man.
Hey, I don't know if I have said this lately to you, but thank you for listening. I sincerely appreciate it. I would love to get feedback from you. I'm just sitting here talking into a microphone. You're probably running, or you're driving, or you're washing dishes. I don't know what you're doing, but I would love to get feedback. What would you like to hear more of? Obviously, reviews on iTunes are great. I read those. I read every one, and I love to know what you're thinking. But if you want to reach out, shoot me a text message, 619-485-2726. Let me know what you would like in your OCR reporting. Not just the podcast, Instagram, the website, whatever. You want more international, non-US stuff. Here's a dirty little secret. The outside US OCR has not even started yet. They're looking at July, basically. You want more training stuff? Let me know. Whatever it is. 619-485-2726. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. I will talk with you soon. Go spend time with someone you love.